edition of Coffee with Spects featuring no one. He's not here.
No one? I'm nobody? Man, I've been demoted.
Yeah.
Gosh darn it, Spects.
This is new streamer BrycethePrince.
Brand new to the game. I'm so brand new. I'm just terrible.
That's the
maybe not terrible, but I'm definitely not good.
How's your first week of streaming going for you?
You know, it's interesting with Hogwarts Legacy, having come out and the more I play, the more excited I get for the game, and it just generally inspires me to put more content out. I think I've streamed. Well, I mean, like going from our Fall Guys stream last Saturday through today of this recording, which is Friday. I think I've streamed 4 times in the past week.
It's more than me this week.
Then I put out 3 different videos.
I streamed twice.
Yeah. But you also got more traction than I do, so all you need to do is stream twice. I mean, you've been at it a lot longer, and you're actually taking yourself completely seriously. So.
Yeah, you think I take myself seriously?
Well, you're taking it more seriously than I am, I should say. So.
Probably not. Probably not.
I mean, you actually have...
Instead of making content and editing today, you know what I did?
What?
I took a nap.
That's a good idea. I like naps. I took a nap today, too.
I took a nap instead of
That's part of the reason I was so late for my thing.
I took a nap. I took a nap and watched Impractical Jokers. That's what I did this afternoon. Did I edit? No. Did I stream? No. I took a nap and watched Impractical Jokers. And ate pizza. What I did. It was fun. It was a fun time.
But yeah, no, it's the thing is like for me, like the thought for a while of streaming at all was so daunting. Just the thought of like, oh my gosh, I have to do this and go live.
Hit a button.
It helped on Saturday to have you like ease me into the streaming.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely want to do more Fall Guys again because that was kind of fun. By the way, did you like how I called you out in the first video I released this week?
Yeah, don't worry. I'll get my revenge. Don't you fret. Don't you fret.
I was so close this week to getting a crown. I'm gonna keep trying.
That doesn't matter.
Close
doesn't matter.
Yeah, but
close don't matter.
I was second place. The guy griefed me right off, and I was like,
"It's your fault. That's your fault."
It is.
Get good. Get good, gamer.
Whatever.
Yeah, what level are you?
Because I'm a better gamer than you.
I watched your
stream. Let's go 1-on-1 in Rocket League and see how you do.
What? You fine. You got me in one game. I got you in Fall Guys and Hogwarts Legacy. What level were you in Hogwarts Legacy, sir?
I think I'm level 8 or 9.
Yeah, I'm 14. Hey, shut up. Oh, you got more time than me. No, I don't know.
That's a matter of time.
No, it's
you.
How many hours do you think I have? I will tell you how many hours I can tell you how many hours I put into that game. I know offhand how many hours I put in that game.
I have no idea how many hours I put in.
I put in game 7 hours. That's it. I literally have. I have not played as much as you think I have.
You've played 11 and a half hours.
In-game hours, I'm at 7.
It says 11 and a half hours played recently.
Yeah, that's just where it's on, like Steam.
Do you know how many? Do you know how many hours I have of it being on?
On? Probably a lot.
5.5.
Jesus Christ.
So yeah, it is a matter of time.
Oh my God. It really.
But you watched my stream.
No, but the whole thing is
the night of this recording, I was doing more to actually level up.
No, the whole thing is
those first couple playthroughs, I just wanted to get through some of the nitty like story stuff.
The whole thing is with that game is literally just doing laps around the castle, garnish you XP, and all that stuff.
No,
like that's what I've been doing. It's not like
that's what I'm learning today. So
like that's all I've been doing. I've been playing with Sabbath, and me and him have just been like going around and doing stuff. He's a little ahead of me in the main story. But like for you to catch up where I'm at in story, you literally have to get through herbology class and potions, and then you're.
I was like avoiding doing herbology.
We're basically caught up. It's not that hard.
No, I can't tell right now if we're gonna be streaming Friends or streaming Rivals or both. I don't know if this is the case of Porquino Listos.
Even like the friends I make, there's all like at least I guess I'm like soccer's like a friendly rival. Glenny's a friend. I think it depends. Like you and I
think it's always good to be kind of rivals, but
like you and I. But the whole thing is like it's different when it's like we're competitive. Like if I'm competitive with someone, it's always going to be like that little like daunting thing where it's, you know, compared to someone else. Like I have other friends I've made where it's very much just friendly.
I mean, we've been friends for what? Let's see, close to 17 years now?
Yeah, 17, 18 years.
Something like that. Yeah, no, I mean, which is kind of wild to think about, but no, yeah, I guess this fall would probably be about 18 years, huh? We'll be adult, like our friendship will be an adult.
Yeah, so I think it'll always...
but I mean, like we have that like back and forth that we can have simply because we know each other so well, because we know we're not actually going to hurt each other's feelings by you know, messing with each other. So but no, yeah, I don't know about you, but I'm really enjoying digging into Hogwarts Legacy. I think it's a well built open world game. I don't know exactly everything I expected. I did. It was interesting. I probably should have like read more preview type stuff first. But one of the things I think that surprised me was somebody finally made the point on a short. This is not a school simulator. This isn't Bully.
No, it got
and I thought, you know, I think when this game was announced, I initially thought, oh, I'll be able to like just kind of go to classes and do what I want. It's gonna be kind of like, I was thinking kind of like a Skyrim type situation.
No, it's more like Dark Souls.
Yeah, no, but it's fun. It's fun. The more I dig into it, the more I have fun with it. I mean,
you died in the first battle. That's
true. I clearly am not used to these styles of battle systems, but I'm getting better. I'm getting a lot better. So don't count me out just yet.
Okay.
But no, but the more I dig into it, the more I'm getting into it. This is how single player games always are for me. Like at first I'm kind of like incompetent and I'm also just not sure about the game. And then give me like a week and I'm like, oh my gosh, oh wow, I can't believe that twist and turn sort of thing. So
I will admit, I'm sort of surprised the game wants you to juggle. Usually especially single player games, are a little less like juggle combo. This one's like, no, we want you to juggle. It's like, we not juggle.
Yeah, well, no, yeah, like tonight I did on my stream. It took me, I don't know, 3-4 tries to do the final thing for the dueling club.
Wait, the 4v2?
The 4v2 was catching me off guard.
I did it once.
It would be like I'd start focusing on attacking one person, and then all of a sudden I'd get hit once or twice, and I'm just like, I think part of it is they don't expect you necessarily to do that until you've like leveled up your in-game like armor or whatever.
So I don't know how it works. Sabbath did it. You did it. I haven't done it yet. But I did it once, and I thought I can. I think I can beat him because I'll just R1 him and throw crap at him. But I did it once. I didn't really try again, mainly because I was an idiot. I did it 1v4. So I took down one person when it was just me, and I was almost at 2 down. So I could probably beat it.
the one person you have helping you is not much help.
It's still all I need is like just give me chip damage, because I think the one I'll say this about the combat that I think's annoying is I really hate like, oh, you have to use, they have shields and you have to take down the shield and then juggle them, and then I think that's obnoxious.
I think as far as like a wizard magic dueling system, this was a decent enough implementation. It looks like it had some good work put into it, so
it's fine. I think
from Avalanche Studios up here in Utah.
I think it could be better. It like having stuff like that. It's just like, could we not?
No, I get it. That's a fair criticism. I don't know. For me, it's just a matter of getting used to everything.
Or maybe it's just
everything. That's why I'm not as critical of games or
maybe it's
just,
maybe it's just because it's in a closed setting. Because like a lot of these fights so far have been like in very closed settings. Like when I was finally out lighting spiders on fire, it didn't feel as contained, and like even fighting goblins. Thank you for doing that, by the way. Goblins and stuff, like it didn't feel as like trapped. So
all right, well,
I just want DLC for it. So
I did forget the Super Bowl. I didn't actually forget it. I just kind of forgot it when I was putting the rundown together. But I like Spects' notes for our podcast rundown was it's Super Bowl week, Bryce, and we'll get to that.
That was the title. I didn't have anything else to put. I said, "Want to put Super Bowl week."
No, yeah. But no, let's start. Let's get there at the end, because I think the Super Bowl, with it comes a lot of discussion and all that kind of thing. So, NBA trade deadline this week. Did you enjoy all the chaos?
I love how Kevin Durant decided to come out west to lose in a Western Conference final. I think that's adorable.
I have a hard time counting them out. I also have a hard time counting the Lakers in. So
I think I've said this before, and I'll say it again. The Suns are frauds. I think they had their one good run,
but they have Kevin Durant now. That is a big step up.
And before, you know what people said before? Well, they got Chris Paul.
Yeah, but Chris Paul is definitely not Kevin Durant.
Let me ask you this.
Chris Paul's not Kevin Durant.
Let me ask you this. The best team in the West right now is Denver, right?
Yeah.
Okay, do you think in 7 games, because this is why they got him, in 7 games, do you think Phoenix will beat Denver?
I think it's close.
I don't think it's close.
You don't think it's close? That's I think I think that's.
You want to know why I don't think it's close?
I think old assertion.
You know why I don't think it's close? You know, this is why I don't think it's close. Who's gonna stop Jokic? Durant's not gonna stop Jokic. He's not gonna stop Jokic.
But who's gonna like? Here's the thing: you can stop Durant, but then Paul and Booker and Ayton are all open. You can can't focus on every player on the Suns team.
It doesn't matter. Like
they've
the whole thing.
They've got a good front court. It's. I don't know. Like I'm not gonna sit here. I'm not gonna sit here and try to anoint the Suns as like.
I'm not anointing the Suns, but I'm saying if we're comparing them to the best team in the West, which is Denver, they're not. I still don't think they're better than Denver. I'll take Jamal Murray, and maybe it's because one of my friends on stream is a Nuggets fan, but I think Jamal Murray and Jokic is still better than any combination of Durant, Booker, and Paul.
Sure.
Because
I get that.
Just because they can stretch the floor.
Criticize you, but
because they can stretch the floor better. Because you can stretch the floor with Jokic. You pull out Ayton. But Ayton gets caught behind the arc. What are you gonna do?
But here's the thing: how is Denver any different than the past couple of years?
How's Denver any different? I mean,
how are they different?
Jamal Murray's healthy. I mean that's a big one.
Yeah. I mean, but the thing is like, I'm trying to think of a way to.
I mean, normally I would agree with you and say Denver's also a choke artist, but I don't think Memphis is. The thing with Memphis is such a one-trick pony. Even though they got Luke Kennard, it's like Morant. You can stop Morant, like unfortunately. Denver, the thing with Denver is Jokic is so imposing. Like, you can say the whole thing like, well, how do you stop Durant? Well, they stopped Durant. Durant's been stopped before. Has Jokic really been stopped to an extent? I guess.
But Durant hasn't had this kind of supporting cast since he's left Golden State.
Yeah, exactly. He hasn't had it since Golden State, but Golden State.
That's the thing. We don't know what Durant can do when he's surrounded by a full-on team. He hasn't been surrounded even by another good player in a while. Like, look. Hold on. Let me clarify that point really quick.
I count 3 just in Brooklyn.
Hold on. Let me clarify that point really quick. Irving and him have been at odds for how long?
At least a year and a half.
Yeah, it's been a while. They were pretty dominant at first, but when they first got Irving and Durant, it was just Irving and Durant. So we still didn't know because they still had to be like the main part of the team. That was why there was such a struggle. And then okay, you could throw in James Harden, you could throw in maybe Ben Simmons, but even then I don't think Ben Simmons counts as a good teammate because Ben Simmons is not the player he was.
And Kyrie is.
What?
And Kyrie was or is a good teammate.
Oh, no, okay, that's also, but that's a good point. That's proving my point, though.
Yeah, but the whole thing is
Durant hasn't been around a player of Devin Booker's caliber since he left the Warriors.
Yeah, and they won one title together. Cool.
Sure. But you also got to remember he was going against LeBron in his prime, and even then, that was what, a 7-game series that it took for the Cavs to finally beat.
And then they got hurt in Toronto.
But that's what I'm saying. We don't know what Durant's going to be like when he's surrounded by a player like Booker.
I don't
think
he
has a big man like Ayton. He's never had a big man like Ayton in almost his entire career.
You had guys that were
you had solid players, but Ayton I think Ayton's a future I mean, like if not an already all-star, but like I think he could be a perennial all-star given the space.
I guess.
Given because right now the problem for Ayton is he's 4th option, 5th option sort of guy.
See the difference. The only reason why I'm saying, like, as much as you want to tout Durant and say, well, now Durant's gonna be in the same spot. People were saying the same crap about LeBron.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Durant has one ring and how many finals?
I'm not saying I can't be wrong.
I'm not saying you're. My point is that it is in defense of Kyrie, and I mind you, I'm not defending anything Kyrie's done, but I will say in defense of Kyrie gets the heat all the time for being the bad teammate, wanting out, not wanting to play second fiddle, all this crap. What if it's Durant? Do we ever think maybe it's just Durant? Maybe Durant's just an asshole and we just don't hear about it because he doesn't say anything. And Kyrie does, and Kyrie does say things. Because we blame him leaving the Warriors was blamed on Draymond because Draymond was getting upset at him because allegedly he was on his way out, which I think was probably true. It didn't work in Brooklyn because they brought in. It was a player-run system with Steve Nash, who had no coaching experience in there. They really still don't have an actual coach. So, well, what do you expect to have happen when you have one outspoken guy who is going to do what he wants, and then you have Durant, who at this point seems slightly passive-aggressive to at least get out? Is that attitude gonna magically change in Phoenix? Probably not.
Look, I will stop short. I will grant you this. I will stop short of proclaiming the Phoenix Suns as finalists this year. But they did reach the finals, 2 years ago with a team that wasn't this good.
The Lakers did it 3 years ago. That doesn't mean a whole hell of a lot.
Yeah, but they did it with a team that was about this good.
Maybe a little bit worse. Team's not exactly any different. The whole thing is now, do you think Durant pushed them over the top? I don't think they're even going to get. I think they're going to lose in the Western Conference Finals. I think Denver's too good to lose in 7 games. Honestly,
that's if Denver's in the Western Conference Finals.
Who's going to beat them?
I don't know.
But
they've choked. They've already choked. We talked about this.
Who's Denver? Denver's choked before.
The past couple of years.
But now the 2 best teams in the West are legitimately the 2 biggest chokers in the league: Denver and Phoenix. One of them's not going to choke if they both get there, and my money's on the guy. My money's on the freak loaf of bread.
Look, I get it. I do.
Because Chris Paul has a magical way of just blowing it.
I'm not going to sit here and say, look, you're wrong, because I don't feel strongly into this to say like Phoenix is going to go all the way to the finals.
You shouldn't. They're frauds.
They have been.
No,
but add Durant. I don't know that we can necessarily. Hold on.
We can.
There are 2.
I just did.
2. There are 2 huge differences between Durant, between the Suns of the past couple of years and this year.
If you say Kevin Durant, I swear to God.
There's 2 differences.
Okay, Kevin Durant, and what else?
Is KD, obviously.
And what's the other one?
They have a different owner. And as we know as Angels fans,
because
a different ownership group means a different culture.
All right. Okay.
I'm not again.
Okay. All right.
Again, I will say this. I am not going to sit here and say that Denver is definitely going, or not Denver. Sorry, the Phoenix is definitely not going to make it, or going to make it, or whatever. I'm not going to make a definitive statement like that because I know that's not the case.
Okay. So let's flip to his teammate. His teammate went to Dallas. Good for.
I thought that was probably the stupidest move Dallas could have made.
That's a rough deal for Dallas because Kyrie wants to be a Laker.
They gave up all these assets for a guy that I think he's gonna play there. They're gonna get ousted in probably the second round. And then
they're similar to Lakers, where I think you'll see one of them go 5 and the other 6. So,
sure.
If you gave up that and you think that front court, that back court will, I guess. But like I said, Cuban's got to know he wants to go to LA, and it sure as hell seemed with the Lakers what they did. It sure as hell seems sort of like they're gonna have the room to get him. So it really comes down to, well, you got him till the summer, so let's try it. And they gave up a lot to get him, which is bold.
Yeah.
It's bold. So you got a weird window. Like I said, I don't know if it makes them better. I guess it makes them better in a West where everyone was bunched up.
Yeah, I mean, look, it will. They'll finish the season better than they would have.
Yeah, like I said, I think
I'll grant Dallas that it was a good trade in the sense of
you're out of
the at a better point, and you want to give yourself at least a better chance to maybe make a surprise.
Yeah, you're out of.
This is the way to do it because now you have 2 guys. You have Luka and you have you have Irving that are both excellent players that I think can mesh well together.
I think them and the Lakers kind of did the similar thing of. Like, I think the Lakers are like 12th in the West, but it's like now with what they did, I'm like, they're a solid, like that 4 to 6 range now. Probably.
Yeah, no, I think
if they play to their caliber, they're not going to, and with their schedule, they won't be like a bubble tournament team.
I mean, a friend of the podcast, Tim Van Strand, did make a good
That's what I was saying.
On that. What was the record he said they had to finish with? 27-10 or something like that?
I thought it was 17-10 or something, but it was something where it's like all they had was...
You might be right.
And it was something...
But it was something where they have to go at least 17-10 to finish above 500. 9 of the remaining 27 games are against the Warriors, Suns, Grizzlies, and Mavericks.
So you look at that.
Only 3 games against non-playoff contenders, and then there's just a bunch of other playoff contenders, but they aren't the top.
Yeah, and I would say like right now the Lakers and Mavs are probably in the same spot where it's like they're better. I just don't know if it's too much too late. at least for
I
both.
don't know, but given a team, the Lakers made some really smart trades. Jared Vanderbilt is excellent on defense. So when you need somebody to come in and start plugging up the middle for you, like especially like if you were to go to face a team like Denver,
mm-hmm.
having a guy like Vanderbilt, I'm not saying he's gonna stop Jokic, but he might slow him down a bit.
Yeah.
And then Mo Bamba, it's a good. Those two guys in particular, I mean, like that's not even talking about Malik Beasley, or D'Angelo Russell, but those two guys right there, Mo Bamba and Jared Vanderbilt, are going to help take that pressure off Anthony Davis.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's going to be a big deal because that allows Anthony Davis to probably play at a somewhat higher caliber because he's not going to be knowing that have to play 40 minutes a game for us to win. Now he only has to play 28 minutes probably a game for the Lakers to win.
Yeah, I think I would say D'Angelo Russell's an improvement over Russell Westbrook.
And that was a big thing. Look, I'm probably wrong on this. I'm probably just a Lakers homer on this. I think D'Angelo Russell still can be what he was in Brooklyn in 2019 when he was an all-star.
Does he need to be?
I still think he can be that guy. He doesn't have to be. You're right. But what I'm saying is he can provide an extra spark to LeBron and Anthony Davis.
And I think he knows that. I think one of the weird things, at least probably with Minnesota, is I wonder if it's hard playing with Karl Anthony Towns sometimes.
Sure.
I often wonder because it's sort of like him and what they had there with him, Cat, and when they had what they drafted first overall, first overall.
Is that who you're talking about?
Yeah, Anthony. You think it would kind of start working, and it just hasn't. I don't know. I don't know why it hasn't worked. Maybe you shouldn't have traded for Rudy Gobert. Just a thought.
I do think we're gonna look back in just
that was such a bad trade,
and we're gonna be like, wow, that was a terrible trade.
Danny Ainge, weird shifting gears, but Danny Ainge, man, Danny Ainge is the king at acquiring assets. He did it again, and it's like I was telling. My exact words were.
The sense here in Utah is he didn't quite do what he could have been doing. He
did enough because, I told Scott, there's always going to be another disgruntled star, and having those assets when that star appears, whoever it is, and my best, if I had to throw a name on the wall, sorry to all Heat culture homers, but I think one Jimmy Butler's going to get very annoyed at the Godfather Pat Riley during the summer for screwing up the Kevin Durant thing, but you didn't hear that here. Just saying. Not that I know.
ASMR.
No, I just didn't want anyone to hear me.
No. Yeah, no. It's definitely true, and I think that 2027 pick, depending on what happens to the Lakers in the next,
is this slightly protected?
I think that first round pick is going to leave the Lakers because I know 2027 is still 4 years away, and by that point Anthony Davis's contract is up. But I mean, look, I've been confident in the past about who the Lakers could get in free agency, but I really do think Kyrie Irving is all but a Laker come next season.
Is that a pick? Is that just a pick swab?
So it's a top 4 protected first round pick. And if it does land in the first round, there's some weird stuff where it's like, oh man, they get like a second round pick and then, or maybe it's like 2 second round picks or something. There's some weird, they get if it doesn't, if the Lakers keep their pick, then they get a certain amount of whatever. So
yeah.
Anyways.
Anywho. Second round picks. I don't care. Second round picks are useless anyway.
Danny. Well, I mean, not always. Look at Jordan Clarkson. Look at
how many of those second
the
round?
Lakers have made some good second round picks.
But I mean, how historically they're kind of trash.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's true. It's not like a lot of other sports where you can go deep into a draft and it's like
there's not a lot. It's a
these
very
guys are gonna be great. Like you're not gonna get a Tom
it's
Brady
so
type,
shallow,
second round.
But that
I know,
does that
like a Tom Brady of basketball is what
does
I'm
that
saying.
does that just mean? I don't even know what it means, but it sort of feels like there's not a lot of development. I mean, you can develop talent. The Heat do it all the time with the D League, but it seems like that's still not like the norm. Where it's like, oh, take this guy, take a high ceiling guy, throw him in the D League for like a year, because you throw him in there at 18, comes out at 19, and he's good at 19. Hey, you did it. You know, they don't do that. So I guess there's hidden value, but not a lot of teams, I guess, like to do that.
Yeah. No, it's hard to tell sometimes in that regard. Exactly how much value you put into that, but it does seem like NBA, at least general managers, like having the option to have second round picks. So the Lakers got some of those second round picks through some of the trades, like the Thomas Bryant trade.
Yeah, you can always trade them. Because I know what they'll usually, if I recall, it's you trade them for like an actual guy who was taken, not so much anything. You just use it to get a guy.
Sure. So
instead of trading assets for assets.
But no, yeah, there was some. I mean, look, there was some interesting developments through all that. I mean, like Kevin Durant getting traded at all was huge.
Yeah.
Oops, sorry.
That was it. Like in terms of notable trades, John Wall going back to Houston was interesting. Eric Gordon going back to the Lakers or Clippers was interesting. I think that's really it. There wasn't a whole lot after that. It was those. Well, I guess Westbrook going to the Jazz was interesting. Pat Bev's getting.
Yeah, well, I mean, he has a history there, but the reporting today was
that
they've had discussions.
Cool.
I don't know if those discussions are just, hey, how much do you want to be bought out for? But or do you just want to sit the rest of the season, sort of thing? I mean,
I think he might want.
My guess is he'll get bought out and end up in. It could be. There could be some interesting.
Oh, he could go to Miami.
There's Miami. He could reunite with Durant. He could.
I don't think he's going to Phoenix. If he went to, the only reason I say Miami is because there were rumors that when he went to Washington, there were rumors the Heat were in on him. So maybe he goes to the Heat. I don't think he fits the culture of the Heat at all. I don't think Pat Riley's going to put up with his antics. But if they're running out Kyle Lowry, and Kyle Lowry's kind of trash, so maybe.
Yeah.
Like is Russell Westbrook better than Kyle Lowry?
Yeah, no,
I guess he's more athletic.
He's been better this year.
He's more athletic. He's more athletic.
Sure.
But like I said, I don't know if he fits the whole like culture of Miami. Maybe he would. I don't know. Maybe it would kick some sense to him, but I don't know. That'd be the one thing I could see is maybe Miami. Maybe it'd be an East Coast team. I don't think it's another Western team.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? Maybe the Warriors, like, because he could just, if he's cool with coming out the bench and leading the second unit. But again, I don't think that team's going to put up with his antics either. That's why I'm saying.
What could be really funny with Westbrook is what if he just came back to the Lakers? I doubt it though, because it was announced that the culture was pretty toxic with Westbrook around.
That's why I'm saying I can see maybe Miami, because if he'd have to buy into their stuff where it's like, like Butler bought into it, and Butler was a was a cancer. So maybe it is possible that he goes to Miami and it works. But we know Pat Bev's going to get bought out. So he might come back.
Yeah.
I don't think he is.
I do think there was some other notable trades of sorts. Because you had the Warriors trading away Wiseman. I thought that was a big one.
That was interesting. I didn't see that one happening.
I honestly think that the Warriors are seeing the writing on the wall. And here's something I said at the end of the finals last year. I don't remember if we did a podcast around that time or anything. It felt like the Warriors' finals.
Probably. Because
it felt like everybody was going, wow, look at this dynasty continue. The Warriors are just so resilient and amazing. And I was like, no, it feels like they kind of just slipped into winning the finals. Like, it felt like once they got there, they could win a finals because they had a bunch of guys with tons of experience, but and a lot of talent on that.
Who are they playing?
That's for sure. But
who do they play in that final last year?
That's a good question. 2020.
How did we forget?
I don't know. It wasn't a super memorable to me, at least. It
wasn't Milwaukee, was it?
Celtics.
That's right. It was Boston.
Celtics. Yeah, no, so
I think you're right though, because I think the end of this year, Draymond's gone. They're probably not going to resign Draymond. They don't have the room, so that you're going to be left with.
Not only do they not have the room, why would they?
Yeah, and you're left with an aging Clay who's blown out his ankle and his knee. Steph's getting older, so it's like you might have another run in you, but it's like. It sort of feels
this isn't the team that was so dominant for the.
It feels like it feels like the Lakers after like the last three-peat where it's like
after the 2010 finals victory.
It's just like oh okay.
Oh yeah,
it was fun while it lasted.
They might have something, but and then they obviously ended up not having anything. But no, so I think Wiseman leaving was a sign that they're like, yeah, this was it. Another one that I thought was interesting was the Raptors getting Jakob Poeltl.
Who?
He's a good center in the NBA. Because everybody assumed that the Raptors were going to be sellers at the trade deadline.
Yeah, they thought Fleek was going to go somewhere.
They invested. And it's interesting because
I think with Brooklyn,
don't think this is a team that's going to make the finals.
And Brooklyn, the problem is with Brooklyn tearing down, you're
kind of wide
open.
You're
not. I don't think you're quite as worried. That's why I'm saying like
sure, but Boston is still going to be a tough pass.
Yeah, but it's but you want in because
I think the East is all but given to Boston and Milwaukee.
Yeah, but I mean, you have the chance of just getting in. No, Miami. Unless Miami would have to get Westbrook. They'd have to pick up Westbrook or Bev. Like that team's not what you think it is.
Yeah.
You can't win a title with just Jimmy Butler. They almost did, but they didn't. And all the people. See, the Lakers and Heat are in a similar position, and Heat fans will never admit this. The Heat got lucky in the bubble, and I'm not saying Lakers didn't, but the difference was when it came to the Lakers were a top team before the pandemic, before everything got shut down. The Heat really weren't. Yeah. The Heat weren't. And the funny thing with Heat fans, like, well, we were so close, we were this away from getting back, and it's like, yeah, you were. That doesn't matter. Like what happened? You guys are now worse than the Lakers ever could be, and you still have your core. Yeah. Like what happened? Oh, did you guys forget to shoot?
My favorite thing was after that finals ended, Heat fans were like, "Well, this wasn't even a real finals. You guys won the Mickey ring." They were automatically. Yeah, they were automatically doing that.
Yeah, Heat lifers are because I hear them all the time. Like Heat lifers to me are hilarious because they always will be like, "Well, you can clearly know that the sight lines." Were different because Anthony Davis was like 50%. And by the way, If you want to see something that proves it really wasn't as weird as you think it was, look up Mike Korzimba's video when he compares Anthony Davis to Dirk Nowitzki when in that final against, again, the Heat, and how their numbers matched up. And it's pretty similar. So anyone who says, oh, it was the sightlines, I don't think it was the sightlines. I think Anthony Davis was just really, really locked in and got really, really hot at the right time, because it's really strikingly similar to Dirk. Just saying.
No, yeah. So I think it was just a very fun NBA trade deadline. It's not the greatest one, but it's one of the best ones we've had in a while.
It's so boring.
Too.
It's so boring. I think baseball
trade deadlines end up being really boring. This one was at least like it had a couple of big trades.
Baseball's usually somewhat exciting.
I guess that's true, but like
you don't see a lot
baseball
of
sometimes can be more about the discussion of what could happen.
Yeah, and especially I guess as
lots of trades discussed, but nothing actually ended up. I love that time of year because it proves you how bad these GMs are, like past GMs are at making deals. And we're going to see it again this year for sure with one Mr. Ohtani and John Heyman, who really wants him as a New York Met. No, yeah. So, I mean, should be an interesting end to the
So you said
should be an interesting end to the NBA season.
So Texas OU leave Big 12. Yeah, they leave next year. That's why if you notice their schedules were kind of like, hey, we'll retreat it.
But no,
there's that story for you. They leave next year for the SEC.
So yeah.
Cool discussion.
Texas, Oklahoma going no. But what did you think about the payment?
To get in?
To leave next year, the payment that they negotiated with the Big 12 to leave.
What was it?
See how much they have to pay?
How much do they have to pay?
$100 million.
Why is that? It sounds like a Dr. Evil amount of money.
Between the two of them.
Combined?
$100 million.
I mean, they're going to make it back, so who cares? It's chump change.
No. Yeah, and that's true. I mean, like, Texas is... as much as you be a USC fan probably hates to admit it, Texas is a
I wanted you to use your words.
Very financially strong institution. It's not a good football program necessarily, but they make their money.
Both of them have their money, but Texas doesn't make as much money as you think they make because they have a shitty network. But it doesn't matter. OU will make it back, and so will Texas with revenue sharing in the SEC.
It is making some interesting stuff because the talk is so they'll be gone. But the talk is that Yormark, who's the commissioner of the Big 12, he's starting to talk to some other teams and some other conferences. So we could see some more conference alignment. I mean, there was already some stuff going on when BYU and Houston and Cincinnati
there was speculation that you were going to see them
went there, but
when Pac sort of sliding into the next story with the Pac-12, because the Pac-12 is probably
that's why I put these together. By the way,
because I disagree with Scott on this front. I think the Pac-12 is as good as dead, and I think they're dead.
Oh, I agree.
So they're going to start.
Maybe we need to have Scott on to discuss this, but
like you will see poaching because it's just going to get weaker and weaker. And I'm sorry, and I think I said this when we had him on originally. Is I'm like, no offense, but Utah can't carry a conference. Oregon can't carry a conference, so they're gonna get poached. Like if they don't solve their TV woes to go after SC, UCLA leave, that conference is as good as dead.
My guess is you could hear within the next year or two in Arizona State probably leaving, and that could potentially drag on Utah if Utah saw the writing on the wall as like
if Arizona
we gotta make money while we can.
I don't think Arizona State would go first. I think in terms of like competition, you probably see Utah go on their own to the Big 12 because of the Utah BYU rivalry. So they could go on their own, and then you could just get a stopgap you could.
The reason I see Arizona State as at least a focus for the Big 12,
the tandem,
is that there's a lot of established, not necessarily rivalry, but definitely competitive, like a competitive spirit between Arizona's schools and like some of the Texas schools.
Yeah,
because
the
there's
reason,
already some geographical connections there.
I wonder if they would sell the Utah BYU rivalry though, because then that could be now in
if
conference.
Arizona State goes,
I think you're putting.
I don't think Colorado Utah is too far behind.
I don't think I would be shocked if Arizona State are the first to go. They're not strong schools, and if it is the Big 12, you lost to pretty heavy schools. I don't see their places being two lower teams like Arizona State.
But who could they get to really replace Texas and
Utah? I honestly, I think Utah is going to be number one on their list because of Utah's just competitiveness. And the other one, it wouldn't be Colorado. They're too bad. But maybe,
I don't know.
Hear me out.
Prime though.
Hear me out. If it's not Colorado, Boise State.
I mean, I get the look. Boise State is probably now with Cincinnati and basically, but over the years since Utah left for the Pac-12 and since TCU left for the Big 12, the Boise State's probably the best non-Power 5 team.
That's why I'm saying, because then you get
consistently. Now I get that. No, but I say that and I get that. The problem is the market. Boise is not a great market.
I think they could handle it because realistically, your big pool is Utah.
Yeah, and I get it. I would love look
because
I would love if you were right and it was Utah Boise State that came in next for the Big 12. That would be fantastic. I love it when BYU plays Boise State and Utah. Those are some of my favorite games to watch because they're so driven and competitive and just the players are playing their best football. It's great. But I don't know.
Here'd be my thought with OU leaving. OU's is a traditional power. Like that moves the needle.
Yeah, you got
in terms of competition level, or despite what both of them would say, probably J. Rod would disagree with me more. As of now, OU and Utah are probably equal footing right now. OU will probably jump a little bit this year. Right now, they're on equal footing. It's probably a wash, but it's just traditional power. But Utah, the BYU Utah rivalry, you can sell that on Fox. With Texas, they're a little bit like a C. They're like C. Boise State's probably a C. Throw them in there. You're not in terms of power. Texas is a bottom tier anyway. In the Big 12, they'll fit that. That's the way I see it. With Arizona's, they're both bottom tier. If you got to vote in the package,
I
sure,
get that,
but that just weakens your conference.
But that's the thing. When they added, when Texas and Oklahoma left, who did they add? They added BYU, which is, and look, they added some good teams, teams that at the time of the addition were both performing really well. You had BYU and Cincinnati both performing at a high level. You had UCF has had a history of performing beyond what expectations.
Yeah.
And then you have Houston has had their years, but it's also just a geographical thing. But none of those schools were this is the teams that moves the needle that replaces Oklahoma.
My point being is there's those teams that are C's. I don't even think the Arizona schools are in the C range. I think they're D. They're not if you want to throw them in there. I just think they want to kind of up competition a little bit.
I agree on the sense of Arizona, but Arizona State has had teams that have at least been competitive.
I guess, but again, maybe because I'm Pac-12 and I'm just like, my thing is, if you're gonna poach schools, you don't want to poach the trash. You want to poach what's good. If
you also want to do what sells good TV to your audience,
yeah. So
your audience is gonna care about a game that's between TCU and Arizona State.
Really, what's more? Let me ask you this: you're in see, I can ask you this. You're in television. You're in television. What do you think? So you look at Nielsen ratings at least a little bit, right? Like you're aware of where you are in the rankings locally, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm in marketing. What sells better on a Saturday for a big noon game on Fox? What's gonna sell better and do better nationally? Arizona TCU or Utah TCU? A Rose Bowl rematch from 2021.
I don't disagree. If we're talking about, like, if the Big 12 just has their own selection, I don't disagree with you.
But they do.
The problem is, what if they don't have that option?
They have.
Who else are they going to search for?
They had that option. I don't understand why you think it's like this magical gatekeeping. If they go to you, this isn't like something of like they go to the Pac-12 and say, "Hey, I want to steal a school." No, they go to the school and say, "Hey, this team's already here. Do you want to come in because your conference is going to die? Do you want to be in a conference that's dead?"
You have to get these teams to buy into the conference dying, or at least being or at least the Big 12 is in better health. And I do agree that the Big 12 is in better health, but a lot of Big 12 or Pac-12 schools don't necessarily buy that.
Yeah, they're stupid.
The Big 12 is in much better health. But that's what I'm saying. Do you have your options?
Yes.
Like, but because right now, the top of the conference in the Big 12. Like, taking out Oklahoma and Texas, top of the conference in the Big 12 is TCU, Kansas State, and Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
Very, very good programs.
Yeah, perfect for Utah.
None of those programs has a history of making a lot of noise outside
Neither
of
does
TCU
Arizona.
Outside of TCU making the national championship game, and even then they embarrass themselves in the national championship game. But who are your options in the Pac-12 that you're playing
right now?
What you have to get the Pac-12 schools that you want to poach.
You still
believe is that it is an eventuality for Oregon and Washington to go to the Big Ten.
It is.
You have to get them to believe that. And that's not necessarily the easiest sell to make.
I think
especially not from right now, because right now nothing is going to happen. Nothing's going to happen in this conference realignment from the Pac-12 until Notre Dame decides to go to either the Big Ten or the SEC.
They never will.
And they have so much bargaining power with NBC that they could basically go there and ask for as much money as they want.
Yeah.
They get a blank check from NBC. But that's the thing. So until you can convince these Pac-12 schools that Washington and Oregon are going to leave anytime soon, it's going to be hard to ask better ones to say, like Utah.
You just said it.
To say, hey.
You literally just said it.
You
literally said it with the money. Why? We've said time and time again that deal is awful. I don't have.
Yeah.
How are you? They're losing their two top schools. How do you market that to any network? You can't.
That's the thing we haven't gotten to here is
you can't.
The Pac-12 right now. It was funny because I forget his name, but the Pac-12 commissioner was so confident that he could get as good of a deal as the Big 12.
He will
in TV rights negotiations. They still haven't announced the TV rights
because they don't have one. He's
and
lying.
What was funny is I think he was going under the assumption that the Big 12 would just be like, "Oh, we're just waiting for our TV contract to expire, and then we'll redo things." No, Yormark was like, "All right, let's ESPN, Fox, let's talk." They got a excellent deal. So I do agree, but that's the thing. Not every Pac-12 school agrees with me. I do think, Utah and and Boise State
Because
or Utah and Colorado or whoever you want to do, you could convince them, but that's the problem. Are you able to?
Your concerns have to be this is what your concern is. Your concern is, do you want to be stuck in a lame duck conference, lame duck TV deal where you're playing chaser games every week? Your big games are chaser games, and you're stuck on a cable network that no one else has. And the whole thing is, they haven't done anything to convince me otherwise. The only thing they could probably do is if they say, F it, we're going to go to Amazon or YouTube TV. That's where all our games are going to be. They're going to be streaming. We're going for the streaming dollars. We play when we don't have, we're not up against anybody else. We're on YouTube. We're going to be exclusively YouTube TV and YouTube or Amazon. I don't disagree
with all that.
That's the only way. That's the only way the Pac-12 stays alive. If they go to Fox or ESPN, they're going to be right in the same spot they were this year. USC's playing 7:00 chaser games for a conference that no one's going to watch on ESPN. And the same thing with Fox. They're playing these chaser games that no one's going to watch. That's why they left. Sure. That's not naturally going to change with a lesser product. The only way to save the conference
I agree.
is Amazon.
And I would much rather right now be in a well, I mean, if I could choose anything, I'd much rather be in the Big Ten. But as a BYU fan, I'd much rather be in the Big 12 than the Pac-12. And I say that because the Pac-12's current options that are the ones that are heavily discussed right now are San Diego State and SMU.
I'm surprised. I figured they're going to get Fresno State. They need another.
But do they need another Bay Area team? The talk right now is SCS. The talk right now is SCSU and SMU because those are new markets. And that's the thing right now, as the Pac-12 discusses things, the thing that they're discussing the most is not let's bring in the most talented teams. It's let's bring in the best markets for a better TV deal. I don't think it's going to work as well as they think it's going to.
People have, if they think the Bay Area, Fresno is not Bay Area. I'm sorry, but they're halfway. It's not on it. Like in terms of,
but the market share
yes.
there.
In terms of market, yes, it's technically Bay Area. But again, because then it splits the difference. I'm not talking
about it like it's I know
what you're saying, but like I know
it's the Central Valley.
Yeah, but they're the only one out there. But it's a better fit.
I do agree that's a better fit, but right now your mark's Big 12, but the Pac-12 commissioner, he is completely thinking in terms of what helps the best dollar, because right now what's going to convince teams to stay is going to be, hey, look at the dollar amount we can get.
Southern Methodist is
if you can't get as good a dollar amount as the Big 12, you may be seeing teams going.
Yeah, but Southern Method is SMU legitimately going to be like moving the needle? Fuck no, it's not going to be moving the needle.
No, and that's true.
But as a big market, it's Dallas. Dallas.
The mentions is that SMU is that the Pac-12 commissioner took a visit to SMU.
Yeah, because I guess realistically they're looking at it as we're losing the LA market, but we're gaining San Diego. We're gaining a San Diego market and the Dallas market, which are bigger markets. But again, I don't think that does jack diddly shit if you're still playing these chaser games.
Sure.
That's what you can bring in whoever the hell you want. You can get the goddamn Miami market for all I care. If you're playing it's 10 p.m. East Coast time, no one's watching it.
Sure.
If you want to shift the needle and get guys to stay, say we're going to Amazon. We're 9 a.m. to 5. It's do the red zone of it. Get somebody to play all the Pac-12 games around the same time and just flood it. Go for it. That's the only way you're saving this conference. You're not saving the conference with another crappy Fox deal or ESPN deal. Sorry, hate to be the bear bad news. Your conference DOA. All right, let's wrap this bad boy up with some good old Super Bowl talk. It's Super Bowl week.
Oh yes, the Super Bowl. Chiefs Eagles. We talked about this a little bit last week. What do you think?
Chiefs are gonna win. Andy Reid revenge game. I think it's my hatred for Eagles fans because I think I just don't like them. And I was like, "What's all Phillies fans?" I'm like, no. The Philadelphia Phillies fans, they know when they get their cheeks clapped to shut up. Eagles fans are obnoxious pieces of garbage, and I can't have them winning again.
Yeah.
And Nick Sirianni's just a bro, and I don't like his bro attitude. And I think, I don't know, I don't like the Eagles.
Yeah.
But in terms of,
it's gonna be a close game. I'll
give my analysis. Here's my cutting edge analysis. I think the Chiefs are a better team. I think Patrick Mahomes is a better quarterback right now than Jalen Hurts. I think Travis Kelce's a freak of nature athlete, and despite he doesn't, anyone, he's better than Dallas Goedert. I think the only thing the Eagles have is their wide receiver core, but I don't think even that matters because Patrick Mahomes is a freak.
Yeah. Did Scott Funk, a friend of the channel?
Yeah, he can shut up on the Eagles thing because
he did not like the Patrick Mahomes pick on the for MVP. I thought who else are you going to pick?
I don't know. I think Scott's got a little bit of homerism in him, and he doesn't want to admit it. I don't think Hurts is the MVP. I thought it would be Josh Allen, but I don't. When's voting done? If voting's done at the end of the year, I guess you can argue it should have been closer. But if it was done, I guess closer to when it was awarded, sure.
Yeah, I mean, like Mahomes is right now particularly now that Brady's got. I mean, it's been this way for a few years. But particularly now that Brady's gone, Mahomes is probably the best quarterback in the NFL right now. You could technically probably convince me Josh Allen is right there.
I would say your top three are Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, and Patrick Mahomes. Jalen Hurts is getting there, but I think he's gonna need. I don't know. The problem with Jalen Hurts and any of these young guys is if he does it next year, then I would say, yeah, you're up there too. But it's saying to Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow had to do it last year and this year, so now it's gonna be Hurts. Can Hurts do it next year?
You know who I think else is just a quick segue away from the Super Bowl.
Are you gonna say Tua?
Back to that. No. I want to say, given a fully healthy season, Justin Herbert is going to be one of the top quarterbacks in the league.
I think him with Kellen Moore, yeah. I think you'll see a little bit of difference from him for sure. I mean, Herbert's
given that team a fully healthy season, I think Herbert's gonna have the Chargers competing, kind of like Rivers did. There still needs to be one more playmaker before the Chargers would be considered.
I think the Chargers need a better play caller.
Yeah,
I said I think Brandon Staley needs to go, but they kept him, so whatever.
So, but so in terms of Super Bowl, yeah, no, I have a hard time picking against the Chiefs, particularly with their experience. But the Eagles' offense this year has been pretty well driven. So I think it'll be at least an entertaining Super Bowl. But I think ultimately, if I had to choose kind of a final score, I'm probably going to say 28-17 Chiefs.
It's probably where I'm at. Like I'll say 21-30 Chiefs.
Yeah. So like kind of in that 9 to 11 point range sort of thing. Could be anywhere between 1 and 2 touchdowns is probably what I couldn't imagine. I can't imagine a 21 point victory for the Chiefs, but I have been wrong. I have been very wrong recently. But yeah, and then no Super Bowl discussion is quite complete without the discussion of the stuff that surrounds the Super Bowl. So Rihanna performing halftime ads.
Don't care.
Any of those things move the needle for you, or are you just there for the game?
I haven't really cared about the halftime show in a while. I haven't listened to Rihanna in a while either. So it doesn't really do much for me. Commercials I could take or leave. Though I'll see them on YouTube anyway, which is funny.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm gonna be at like some sort of Super Bowl party because I'm watching it with friends. So I don't really know if we'll even really be watching. We'll probably just be drinking and stuff until we hit the drive back home.
You should do a just chat.
I was thinking about doing that, but I'm like, do I really want to bring my laptop?
Comment on the Super Bowl as you go along.
A watch party? No, I wouldn't do that.
Well, not even so much like actually showing the game, obviously, because you don't want to do that, but just like have the camera on your face and be like, whoa, oh my gosh,
a watch along. I don't know. I might do like some like shorts for thoughts or something, but I don't necessarily see a lot of content coming out of it. Maybe I'll record some random thoughts because I'll be with Tim, so maybe we'll get some thoughts with Tim.
It could be fun.
But I don't know. I think it'll be a fun game. And
yeah, I mean, this is, I don't know, this is probably coming out after the Super Bowl anyway, so we'll see how wrong we were about everything. But
I can post this part early, or you can post it. Probably I'll be out of town.
I'll leave that to you probably, but
no, because I have to put this on a flash drive and bring my laptop, and I don't know how much time I'm gonna have. I'm not gonna have any.
I would only be able to post the audio is the thing, so
well,
that'd be the drawback.
I literally have to edit it tonight, and I'm like, I don't want to do that.
So, but we'll see how wrong we were, regardless.
Yeah, you can just you could put this still picture up if you really wanted to.
Yeah, we'll see. But no, should be a fun weekend. Exciting to see how that football season ends, and then we'll be without football until the fall. We'll have to focus on baseball.
Yeah, we jump into the World Baseball Classic. We'll dive into, but we're entering this, what I like to call the very bad lull period of sports where it's just nothing going on. There's a little bit of hockey and basketball, but that's not really going to move the needle a whole lot, which sucks. But we got some
not until the playoffs come around. Yeah. That's when the needle finally goes back to moving.
Yeah. So then we'll probably discuss the World Baseball Classic. There's some interesting factoids going on, and I'm sure closer and closer we get to spring training and stuff, we'll be excited. So we'll see what things happen. Maybe there'll actually be more gaming news other than Hogwarts next week.
I mean, I have actually been genuinely surprised how much of
when it broke a record,
how much that has moved the needle in the gaming community.
I wasn't surprised. I shouldn't say this. I don't think I was nearly as I probably wasn't as surprised as I needed to be because my thought was you're gonna get people who are gonna buy the game because they wouldn't shut up about it, and people are like, oh yeah, that game's coming out, I should pick it up, and then or people who are like, wait, maybe I'll just let me watch and see how it is. Wait a minute, this game looks pretty good, and then they picked it up. So I think it backfired on them. And I know this is at the tail end, but I do think it's really, really funny that something went viral for them going after a girl and all these. I don't mean to say this like meanly, but I find it fascinatingly funny that people were upset that it was getting coverage. That people were like, I think Dexro reported on it, and it hit a few other outlets that my girlfriend reviews was in tears over people in her chat and how people were upset that it got coverage. And I'm like, well, yeah, screw around, find out. But it broke records, so clearly it did something.
People still care about that. Look, regardless, I mean, I think there's plenty of people playing who are not okay with J.K. Rowling.
I would say that's the vast majority. But there's
the whole thing was I have been so like, even outside of this game, I'm so invested in the Harry Potter community in general that it was interesting. There was like this huge thing, and there were some content creators and people that were like, okay, I won't do this because of J.K. Rowling or whatever. But then there was just a lot of people that were like, look, I can't, like, this is my fandom. Like, I'm not going to let her ruin it, kind of thing. And that's continued with this game. So many people thought, oh, well, J.K. Rowling's going to ruin it. This isn't Fantastic Beasts. This isn't a new content. Like like
they
a news
worked with
story
her.
type thing.
Yeah, they worked with her, but I don't know in what way. I think a lot of it's just like lore purposes.
I think a lot of it was just informational background
I
stuff.
think, I think it's like lore.
The school, I forget the school's name, but the one that the
they base it off of.
What's her name? That girl is from.
Oh yeah, yeah. I know you're talking about.
Her school was like some stuff that the whole no wand thing.
I'm sure they had
something that J.K. Rowling
I think
had done before.
They probably used her more as a resource because it's so far back in time anyway that they sort of have like the freedom of like, this is whatever our playground because we're so far behind. But I mean, it's interesting when it breaks. What was it? 1 point.
I'm glad to be part of that community.
1.1 million viewers, I think, upon early access. So, like I said, I do know there were streamers who are like who passed on it. Whether it's they're just like, some of them I heard were like, I just don't want to deal with the crap. I'm not dealing with the bullshit that's going to come with this. If it does come with it, I don't want to deal with it. When a prominent left-wing streamer was going to stream it and raise money for a trans charity, he couldn't do it because he was focusing his efforts on earthquake relief in Turkey, which is like, hey man, that takes precedence. You do your thing. So as much as people were upset about it, there were people who were like, no, we're going to do it, throw something in there to like get I don't want to say guilt's the right word, but help a better cause despite growling stupidity. But like I said, 1.1 million viewers, by far the biggest record we've seen. And I think that'll be the driving force. And by the way, you know what we didn't talk about this week because of everything else? We didn't talk about Nintendo's Direct, but we can save that for next week.
Oh yeah, Zelda.
Yeah, so
the new Zelda game got more.
We didn't talk. I think we'll have to talk about that next week because we kind of got everything sort of got thrown in. And I know I didn't even have time to watch the Direct. I haven't watched the Direct, so I'll probably watch that this weekend. But I got the list, and I'm like, I'm intrigued. Zelda, I think they said they're redoing like Metroid. I have to look. But there's some good stuff in there. Yeah. But we'll talk about more of that next week because I know we were both focused on one. I'm helping Bryce get his stream up and going, but behind the scenes, I'm streaming and doing all my stuff. Like I was going away this weekend, so I had to make sure my stuff was in a line. It's not, but also going on my thing. So we'll probably come back next week and be a little bit less janky. But I still got stuff to work on with Bryce. But I can just send him. We'll deal with that later. But do you have a stream schedule?
Call me out now.
No, it's stuff that like I had to say because I had to remember because there's stuff I have to tell you to fix that I can't fix. Sure. So do you have a stream schedule?
Sure. My plan is probably Friday nights most weeks.
Just Friday nights?
Now. That's probably the guaranteed night. Any other night would be in addition.
And if you're curious about
next week, probably next, or if you're listening to the podcast as it comes out, I'm probably going to be streaming at least 3, maybe 4 times this week.
And
I can't make any guarantees, but my schedule is pretty busy outside of streaming, and it's not a full-time thing for me.
No, I know. I know. You're not like me where it's like you have time. I go, it's also I make money playing. So.
Yeah.
But for me, I will be live at least tomorrow when this comes out. So Tuesday, I'll be back live about 6:37 with Sabbath playing more Doki Doki, and then I'll be live some point. I'll try to be. I want to get back to like a Tuesday, like Tuesday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday.
Sure.
Maybe Sunday because there's nothing going on, so I get 4 streams in. But next Saturday, more than likely, perhaps, maybe, we'll do a longer stream because it'll be my 2 years on Twitch. So I think I'm gonna go back and play Hollow Knight, which was the first game I ever streamed on Twitch. So I'll probably be playing that, probably. But we'll see. I'll see how the week goes and all that stuff. But check us both out. Our handles are right here. But for the most part. This is all me. This is YouTube, Twitch. This is all me. I think Bryce is sort of similar. His just has gaming.
Yeah, my this is my Twitter. But my Twitch and my YouTube are both at BrycethePrince Gaming.
See his name
YouTube.com/at the BrycethePrince Gaming, and Twitch is twitch.com/BrycethePrince Gaming. So.
See, his name was too big, so I couldn't put gaming in there.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of it's a lot of stuff. But I wanted to add gaming, so it's like clear that I'm
yeah.
gaming.
So he's got that. He'll be live at some point next week too. So have yourselves a good one. Enjoy the Super Bowl. Hopefully you had a great Super Bowl. It's coming out Monday. So have a good week. We'll catch you guys all during the week in our streams. And if not, whenever you listen to this again. So have a good one. Enjoy the Super Bowl, and we'll see you guys all next time. Adios.
Hey guys.